What is up, YouTube? Welcome to PanFro Games. In today's video, we're going to be talking about even more builds to defeat the upcoming 7-star Blastoise for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. This raid shouldn't be too hard, but I wanted to put out more builds than previous just because, you know, I want to have a lot more build diversity on the channel and give you guys a lot more ideas for things that you could build to defeat this Blastoise. And of course, guys, if you like this type of content, enjoy these videos, please leave a like, subscribe if you're new. I really appreciate it. Consider supporting the channel by joining the Pan Fam by hitting the join channel member button below. So real quick, we'll just break down the Blastoise again. It's going to be Terra Steel. It's going to have a hidden ability, Rain Dish, which means it gets 1/16 of its HP back when it's raining, and it will most definitely use that by having Rain Dance on like turn 0. Looking at its stats over here, is definitely very defensively bulky of 100 defense, 105 special defense. Of 79 HP isn't the best, but combined with those defensive stats, it's definitely going to be tanky. And of course, Terra Steel, meaning it only has 3 weaknesses, and 2 of them it can beat super effectively water moves, which is fire and ground. So fighting definitely seems to be overall the best bet to defeat this Blastoise. Now, it is a mixed attacker of 83 attack and 85 special attack. I do think it would lean more into the special attack, especially because it has a better special move pool. Now, looking at the moves, I do think it's going to have a big water move, so Surf or Hydro Pump will be here. Flash Cannon for sure is Terra Steel. Flash Cannon is a move it learns on level up when it becomes Blastoise, so that makes a lot of sense. Ice Beam is good coverage. It also defeats the ground types, so I do think Ice Beam will definitely be in this raid. And then lastly, there's going to be some sort of coverage move here. So it could be Aura Sphere, Dragon Pulse, or Dark Pulse are some good ones on the special side. Now on the physical side, Earthquake and Zen Headbutt are great. Earthquake, you know, it's going to do a lot of damage for sure, but Zen Headbutt would definitely counter any of the fighting type Pokemon. So I think it's worth mentioning that it does get some solid moves to cover all of its weaknesses. Now, I do think the turn 0 setup is either going to be like turn 0 Rain Dance into Shell Smash, and then it'll reset its negative stats. Because, you know, we saw with Venusaur had 3 moves on turn 0. I think Blastoise would be something similar. Or it could just do Rain Dance and then Iron Defense and be like full physical. But we'll just have to wait and see. But these builds are going to be working with pretty much any variation of this Blastoise. So some builds are going to be better in other situations. But at least we'll have all our bases covered going into this raid. Starting off our first build, which is Poliwrath. And Poliwrath Terra fighting with the water fighting stats here, which is great because we don't have any weaknesses and a lot of resistances and an immunity to Blastoise here. We have the item Metronome. So the ability Water Absorb allows us to be immune to water, which is great. So we don't have to be worried about rain boosted attacks. And Adamant, max attack, max special defense, Poliwrath is what I recommend for this raid. So what I like about Poliwrath is you're decently bulky, but you do have a lot of great supporting moves. So you do have Mud Slap here, and Mud Slap you can like use on the first 3 turns, and you can just lower that accuracy of the Blastoise, so you just don't get hit. And then after doing that, you can use an Amnesia to get that special defense stat up by 2 so you don't get hit or you take less damage from a special attacking moves, which I think you only need 1 of these. And then, you know, start doing your Drain Punches. Eventually, once you get to like full HP or like you're dodging enough attacks because the accuracy is down, and when you take attacks, your Amnesia is just going to make it so it's like, oh, it's not that bad. You can eventually do your Belly Drum and then start popping off and get an easy win. I did have Haze on this in the previous set, and I do think Haze is going to be good, but I think Amnesia has a little bit more value. It just depends when the Blastoise is actually going to boost itself. So we could replace Amnesia with Haze again, but we'll just have to wait and see when the raid comes out. Next up is Toxicroak. So Toxicroak is actually pretty interesting because this Pokemon sort of has a hard counter against Blastoise, unless if the Blastoise has a ground type move or a psychic type move, then Toxicroak is absolutely dead. So we're gonna have to just keep that in mind. This Pokemon is phenomenal, but if it has those 2 moves, then this Pokemon will not be good. So I want to put that warning out there. So we're gonna go Terra fighting with the item Metronome. And max HP, max attack, Adamant Nature, because we're just frail on both these special defensive and physical defensive side. I just want max HP, but we'll see what happens on the raid day. So we have the ability Dry Skin. So when the rain is up, we'll be getting like restoration, like life back essentially from the rain. But also, if we get hit by a water move, we get HP back as well. But if the sun is out, you know, we lose HP and things like that. But luckily, no one's going to set up the sun because we're going to do this build solo. So Swords Dance is going to be our setup move. Drain Punch, Metronomes are big damage there. Mud Slap is going to be our accuracy drop, so do that like 3 times in the beginning so you just don't get hit. Sadly, Toxicroak doesn't really have a good 4th move here, but I just have Close Combat as a big damage move just in case towards the end of the raid if you die or something like that. You can use Close Combat and try to finish the fight. Next up is Koraidon. Now, I'll say this. Koraidon is going to be phenomenal in this raid unless the Blastoise has Ice Beam. If the Blastoise has Ice Beam, then I do not recommend Koraidon. But if it doesn't, then I do recommend it. So we have Terra Fighting with the Shell Bell. Dragon Fighting is great typing because you do resist a lot in this raid. We're going to go Max HP, Max Attack, Adamant Nature. You kill Max Special Defense into the HP if you want to, up to you. So how we're going to set this up is if the rain does go up on turn 0. On turn 1, we can just set up a Sunny Day, just so the rain is not restoring the Blastoise as much. And then we also get an attack boost. And then from there, we can start spamming 3 Mud Slaps to get that accuracy down. And then we can do a couple Swords Dance until you actually need to get some life back. And then go for Collision Course with the Shell Bell to get your HP back. And that'll be good to go. Next up is Iron Hands. Now, I don't usually like using Iron Hands for these raids just because it has pretty bad special defense. But there is sort of a way to get past its bad special defense and also to have it do a lot of guaranteed damage no matter what. So we're going to go Terra Fighting with Scope Lens. So we're going to be doing a Scope Lens Focus Energy set. So Focus Energy increases your crit chance by 2, and then Scope Lens increases it by 1. And if you didn't know, crits are out of 3 instead of 6. So that's 100% crit rate right there. So what we're going to be doing with a Max Attack, Adamant Nature, Max Special Defense, Iron Hands, is we're going to turn 1 Focus Energy, and then we're going to start hitting Drain Punches. And we're just going to crit through. So the reason why we want to crit is because crits ignore the physical defensive buffs that the Blastoise could get from Iron Defense. So that would be great. So Iron Hands can be incredibly good here. However, we do still have a weak special defensive stat, and even with that max special defense, it's going to be rough. Now, it may be really hard to run a Belly Drum on this just because if the Blastoise gets a +2 on Shell Smash and hits us, that's going to be nasty. We're not going to be able to take 2 of those, or at least 1 of those, and then a Belly Drum. But this is why I have Swords Dance on this set. So I think Swords Dance, Drain Punch, and Focus Energy is going to be really nice here. Now, you can replace the Belly Drum like a Close Combat or an Electric Terrain if you want another move here. But I think Iron Hands might work if you can get the crit build going. Next up is going to be Annihilate. I didn't mention in the previous video, but I do think it's worth mentioning. Annihilate might be decent here. If for some reason the Blastoise has a move like Mud Shot that lowers our stats, like our speed stat or something like that, we do have Defiant, and that will actually give us a +2 attack boost. So Defiant's going to be really nice if it somehow has a move that lower our stats. We're going to be running Max HP, Max Attack, Adamant Nature, but you can change the HP to Special Defense. And this is going to be your standard Annihilate set for something like this. So we have Sunny Day up, put the sun up so those water moves don't hurt you as much. Focus Energy, and then just start spamming Rage Fist. You could do Drain Punch as well in the beginning and then switch over to Rage Fist. Rage Fist is going to be our big damage move. We are Terra Ghost with the Rage Fist, and Terra Ghost Rage Fist is just going to do more damage than something like a Drain Punch at the end of the day. You could run Drain Punch, but at that point, while you're running Annihilate, I would just recommend running like Koraidon or Poliwrath or Toxicroak or Iron Hands over Annihilate. But Annihilate's big thing is Rage Fist damage does a lot, and it has Defiant. So if Defiant comes in play, then I would definitely recommend this Pokemon. Next up is going to be Keldeo. I think Keldeo is going to be a pretty decent special attacker here. There's not a lot of good special attackers, but I think Keldeo will be pretty decent. We have Terra Water with the Shell. Oh, it should be Terra Fighting with the Shell Bell. Make sure it's Terra Fighting, not Terra Water, with the Shell Bell. Max special attack, max special defense with a modest nature. We're just going to set up Calm Minds and then either use Aura Sphere or Secret Sword. Just depends what the Blastoise does. If the Blastoise somehow does not use like an Iron Defense, then Secret Sword is better. If it does use Iron Defense, then use Aura Sphere. Pretty simple build. And our last damage Pokemon is going to be Vaporeon. Now, Terra Fire Vaporeon with Shell Bell is going to be incredibly interesting here. We're going to be running max HP, max special attack with the modest nature. Now, I like HP on this just because Vaporeon has bad physical defense. So the HP is going to like shore up both defense and special defense because it already has high special defense. So we have Water Absorb as an ability, which is great. So we're immune to water moves. And what we're going to be doing here is we can set up Sunny Day. And with the sun up, water moves are going to do less, which is fine because we have Weather Ball. Now, Weather Ball, when the sun is up, this is going to be a 100 special damage fire type move, which is going to be absolutely great. So this is going to do a lot of damage, and it's going to be super effective. And when it has a Terra boosted, when we finally get the Terra charge up, this is going to do a lot of damage. So what we want to do here is in the beginning, you want to spam Mud Slap like 3 times, and then you can do like Sunny Day, or you can do Calm Mind, maybe do a couple Calm Minds, like 2, 3, 4 Calm Minds, Sunny Day, and then use Weather Ball, and you'll probably just win the raid by then. Now for our supporters, Mew. just a standard Mew set. I have Shell Bell on mine. I would recommend max HP and max special defense on this, but it's up to you. Mine's not built right for that, but just in general, I think the best moves will be Life Dew to heal up the team, Snarl, or you can have Skitter Smack. If you don't have Skitter Smack, you can put Skitter Smack here, but Snarl also works great too. Lower that special attack by 1 stage, which is great. Work through shields. Light Screen to give the entire team a special defense boost, and then Mud Slap to lower the accuracy. So Mew is going to be really disruptive here. Next up, we need Terra Water Gastrodon with the Clover Cloak item. We have Storm Drains, which will increase our special attack stat when you get hit by a water move. So that'll probably only proc once. I'm running max HP, max special defense here. Wait, plus special defense nature. We have Skitter Smack, which is going to lower the special attack stat of the Blastoise. It can miss, and Snarl is more accurate on Mew, so that's going to be up to you if you want to do that. We have Recover to give ourselves some more HP. Mud Slap to lower the accuracy, and then Amnesia to increase our special defense. Now, the only issue is we can get hit by an Ice Beam, and Ice Beam will do a decent amount. But if you had set up like 1 Amnesia, you're going to be good to go. So I'll probably set up turn 1 Amnesia, and then go for Skitter Smacks, and then start going for Mud Slaps, or work in Mud Slaps with Skitter Smacks, and that'll help out the entire team in general. Next up is Umbreon. We're going to have the item, Zoom Lens, because you're probably going to be the last Pokemon. You're going to have Wide Lens on this Pokemon if you're running Screech on it, with max HP, max special defense, with a plus special defense nature. And I really like this Pokemon because you get both Fake Tears and Screech. Now, Mew does get Fake Tears, but it does not get Screech. So Umbreon's perfect support for both special attackers and physical attackers. And there's a lot more physical attackers I recommended. So I would recommend Umbreon over Mew in case of a debuffing. And you can always replace Fake Tears with some other move like Snarl as an example if you want to do some damage here. Light Screen's going to be great to help the team out. Helping Hand to help out the entire team as well, to just boost up attack. Like if you have a main physical attacker, use Helping Hand on them and use Screech, and then Light Screen to boost, and then something like Snarl to lower that special attack. Now, lastly, Poltegeist is my last recommended supporter. I think this Pokemon's just fun because you just hit Skill Swap into weak armor onto the Blastoise, and then whenever you hit it, its defense goes down by 1, and then you can use Trick Room and then go first because its speed will be going up every time it gets hit as well. So I think that's pretty fun. Max HP, max special defense with a plus special defense nature. So yeah, turn 1, Skill Swap, turn 2, Trick Room, turn 3, Light Screen, and then just spam Gauge Drain. It's not going to do a lot of damage with Gauge Drain, but it's something on the field. You already pretty much did your job, and it'll give you some HP recovery. But that's all the builds I have today. I hope you enjoyed this build guide for Blastoise. I'm very excited. We are going to be doing a live stream of these builds, so stay tuned to the channel. We're going to be testing all these builds live, and we're going to have a 1-turn KO video, which I posted yesterday. We're going to try that as well. Anyways, guys, if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, subscribe if you're new. I really appreciate it. I'll catch you guys next time. Peace out, and have a good one.